now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
And now for a taste of things to come.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here, as always, on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel. I, of course, am your host, JJ Williams, the Renegade, thanking you for coming back and joining me here in the newly remodeled theater. Now, for today's film, we're going to take a look at a film that was a special Fathom event. Now, for those of you who are unaware, a Fathom event is a limited time release. A lot of times, it's a classic film being re-released for an anniversary or ahead of a home media release. I've seen things like Frankenstein, The Wolfman, The Invisible Man. I've seen numerous different things like those for Fathom releases. Sometimes it's a concert or a showing from the Metropolitan Opera House. However, for today's film, it was a brand new release that I believe will be heading to a streaming service here in the not so distant future. I'm just not sure which one. Today's film is called The Christmas Ring, and it stars Jana Kramer, Benjamin Hollingsworth, Kelsey Grammer, Megan Ashley Brown, Jesse James Decker, Debbie Winans, and Austin Robert Russell. The film is based off of Karen Kingsbury's book of the same name, and she was heavily involved in the production of the film, which helped to keep it true to her vision. Now, as our movie opens, we get a little bit of a backstory about a man named Bill Bailey, played by Kyle Kupecki, who was a paratrooper who got stuck in enemy territory after the wind blew his parachute off course during D-Day in 1944. Lost and without his gear, Bill feared for his life until he found a ring sparkling in the undergrowth. Finding something so beautiful in such an unlikely place gave Bill hope, and it helped him to believe that he would make it out alive, that he would see another Christmas, that he'd have a chance at love. Bill was right. He survived the war, lived to see another Christmas, and even met the love of his life, giving her the ring. Decades later, the Christmas ring, as Bill called it, has now been passed from one generation of his family to the next as a symbol of family, home, and divine protection. We then fast forward to the present day, and now the Christmas ring belongs to Bill's great-granddaughter, Vanessa Mayfield, or at least it did. You see, unfortunately, Vanessa, played by Jana Kramer, lost the ring while skiing in Colorado with her daughter, Sadie, played by Megan Ashley Brown. It's now been 3 years since she lost the ring, but Vanessa hasn't given up hope. She's still scouring antique stores, praying for a miracle that she will find the ring somewhere. While perusing a particular antique store, Vanessa meets Ben Miller, played by Benjamin Hollingsworth, and his dad, Howard, played by Kelsey Grammer. Ben and Vanessa quickly become friends and perhaps something more. Vanessa's friends think that it's romantic, that her lost ring would lead her to love. But Vanessa isn't so sure. You see, she lost her husband, Alan, just 4 years prior, so about a year before she lost the ring, and she's still grieving about it. She isn't sure how Sadie will feel about her mom moving on. Ben understands all this as he is a widower himself, but perhaps the Christmas ring will lead to a Christmas miracle after all. Vanessa says you need to know when to hold on to the past and when to let it go at one point in the film, after she realizes that she's been holding on to the Christmas ring, or at least the memory of it, for several years now. However, her budding relationship with Ben helps her to realize that she's been holding on to the memory of Alan as well. Sadie, too, has been clinging to memories of her dad. You see, Alan was a medic in the Army, and after he died, Vanessa founded a charity in her hometown in order to support military families. She organizes a dance during Christmas every year in order to celebrate service members. She also arranges for 100 donors to sponsor 100 military families over the holidays, providing those families with money, gifts, and food. At one holiday charity event, a widower tells Vanessa that it's the first time he's seen his daughter smile since her mom passed away overseas. We hear about how Alan loved God and his country, and he didn't plan to make a career in the military. But when duty called, he set aside his earlier dreams and continued to serve. However, after Sadie sees her mom so happy with Ben, she realizes that her dad would have never wanted her mom to be alone. Moreover, she understands that Ben won't remove the memory of her dad from their lives. They will always love and miss him. Sadie eventually shares this with her mom, and it helps Vanessa to accept that perhaps it really is time to let go of the past. See, Vanessa and Sadie share a very close bond, but they've been feeling a bit disconnected since Sadie went off to college. The film's lessons about letting go of the past are dually applied here, as the mother daughter duo learns how to cope with this change and move on into this new phase of life. Similarly, when Ben begins to find happiness with Vanessa, he finally finds the courage to move on from his own loss. Ben shares with Vanessa that his wife Laura learned that she was unable to have children early on in their marriage. She received a terminal diagnosis not long after that, and then passed away a year later. Ben and Vanessa are both very respectful of each other's late spouses, and they talk about Alan and Laura frequently, fondly reminiscing, and that mutual respect helps to strengthen their bond and budding relationship. Ben and Howard also share a very close bond as father and son, and while there are a few misunderstandings between father and son, they often apologize for their mistakes and harsh words, and as a result, their relationship grows stronger than ever. Eventually, Vanessa tracks down the Christmas ring, thanks to an antique store owner named Isaac, played by Daniel Considine, who tells Vanessa that he's narrowed it down to 3 stores, one of which is not too far away. On the night of Ben and Vanessa's official first date, Isaac calls Ben because he believes, believe it or not, that he sold the ring and a box of other stuff to Miller's Antiques, the antique store owned by Howard and Ben. Ben abruptly leaves the date in order to head back to the shop and get the ring, not telling Vanessa where he is going or why. This leaves Vanessa hurt, rejected. She feels like she's said something or done something wrong. She finally has put herself out there, vulnerable, searching for someone new. And then this happens. Meanwhile, Howard acts selfishly for a time, putting earthly desires above heavenly ones. You see, he's discovered the ring, had it appraised, and found out it's worth $25,000. Howard plans to sell the ring and take himself and Ben to Italy, a family vacation that they've always dreamed of. Ben tries to tell his dad that the ring is Vanessa's, but Howard won't believe him. We see a sign in the shop, printed with the words, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will also be," from Matthew 6:21. When Howard realizes his mistake, he pointedly reads the sign, apologizes for his actions, and makes a personal sacrifice in order to bring joy to someone else. The best gift is eternal, he says. Ben is given the ring and dashes back to Vanessa, just in time to volunteer and secure her the 100th donation that she needs for the military veteran families. Ben then asks Vanessa to join him outside, where it's snowing, and he explains to her what happened, after which he gives her back the Christmas ring. They return to the dance, take to the dance floor, and celebrate, as our movie comes to its close. Okay, first the bad. While I know that Christmas is rooted in religion, I have never been a very religious man. I wasn't expecting the film to be so laced with religious tones. If we're being honest with each other, most commercial Christmas movies aren't. That being said, I really didn't mind it because it was very tactfully done. At no point was it in your face or preachy. It was all done very subtly. Vanessa would read her Bible in the morning, which Sadie points out is a fond memory she keeps of her mom while she's away at college. But we never really see the cover of the book to even really know what she's reading. We see a page in the Bible where she's reading verses, but I don't even remember what book or scripture it was because it was so subtle. There's several wall hangings with scriptures written on it, like the one Howard reads in Miller's Antiques. But again, you find those type of things for sale in all antique stores. So I didn't really think anything of it. Again, subtle. The most in your face that they got, if you want to call it that, was a scene where Ben told a group of kids the story of Jesus' birth from the book of Luke. The same speech that Linus gives in A Charlie Brown Christmas. Honestly, Ben's version may just edge out Linus's slightly due to how animative and expressive he gets during the telling of the story to the children. It's warm and adorable. I actually put a tweet out after seeing this film, and I hold to what I said. I said, quote, I think I just saw the most perfect Christmas movie that I've seen in a very long time. Review will be up this weekend for Karen Kingsbury's The Christmas.Ring, which Karen Kingsbury herself actually liked and retweeted. I look forward to posting this review up, tagging her again, and seeing her reply. Now, one of the great things about Fathom Events is that either before or after the film, you tend to get exclusive behind-the-scenes footage where the director, actors, writers, etc. tell you a little bit about the making of this film. This was no exception. It happened at the beginning before the film officially started. And one of the most endearing things that I learned from this footage is that they actually brought in 100 real military personnel for the film. Retired and active both. They asked them to wear their own uniforms as they didn't want to costume them in something fake. They wanted it to feel authentic, genuine. And one of the veterans that showed up was a man named James Daniels, a 101-year-old World War II Marine vet. Amazing. Then you add in Kelsey Grammer, whose scenes were filmed in 3 days between his son's birthday and him having to fly to London to film a Marvel movie. I can't recommend Fathom Events enough. Check their website for upcoming special events and go see something in your local area. Just a few things that they have coming up on their schedule include Another Sweet Christmas, starring Candace Cameron Bure of Full House, Fuller House fame, the 20th anniversary of Wedding Crashers with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, and a play called Merrily We Roll Along, which stars Daniel Radcliffe and Jonathan Groff. Radcliffe, of course, best known as Harry Potter, and Groff was the voice of Kristoff in Frozen and portrayed King George in Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton. They're also doing something for Dick Van Dyke's 100th birthday celebration. All those things I'm probably going to try to see, and reviews will be up for on the channel. Now then, when it comes to my rating, I give Karen Kingsbury's The Christmas.Ring 5 out of 5 snowflakes. It's been a long time since I've given a Christmas movie 5 out of 5 snowflakes. Yes, okay. I'm a sucker for a Christmas movie and a good love story. But again, dare I say that this may be the most perfect Christmas movie in a long time. All the tropes we love are there. Nothing too corny or preachy. It's all very perfectly balanced. You've got the love story, you've got the Christmas backdrop, you've got the carols, you've got the hints of religion, you've got the carnivals, the festivals, the carols. There's nothing left out here. Now I want y'all to tell me, what do you guys think of Karen Kingsbury's The Christmas.Ring? Have you seen it? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that discourse, that interaction that I'm always trying to engage you, my loyal viewers, in. Make sure to thumbs up the video, as thumbs up and comments help boost me up in the YouTube algorithms so more people will see my content. Subscribe if they haven't already, if you haven't already. And until we return to the theater next time for a brand new episode of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel, I have been your humble host, the Renegade JJ Williams, thanking you for tuning in, and I will catch y'all next time.